Janelle.
Woo.
Hi.
How
Wow,
you doing?
that's quite a story. I'm glad she's better. What an
Oh, yeah,
experience.
girl. Hey, it's really
Oh,
America as
Yeah.
we know it. And we have to
So,
be really careful.
yeah, we do. Well, that kind of brings me to what I do. So,
yes.
I'm Janelle,
Oh,
and I am just bound and determined to educate people and to empower them about their bodies and what's going on, and helping people use lifestyle and food to become more resilient in every way they can. So that is my passion and purpose, is just to empower and educate people. So that's what I'm here to help with today.
hello.
Yay. Yay. So well, of course, I'm the host. I don't want to take up too much time because I'm doing a presentation, but I started Gold Wellness Circle. I'm
Mm.
Debra Dixon-Anderson, and I started it in response to COVID. And, just was my heart kind of, it's really a passion project for me and a heart centric project for me. My career is in PR marketing. So that's what I do for a living, is PR marketing. And now I've become basically the publicist for Gold Wellness Circle, but it's just
Oh,
a platform, just all about trying to help us stay well and healthy, and delivering programs like this with great health experts and wellness experts. It's been a wonderful partnership working with Nancy. She's been teaching some wonderful yoga classes and restorative yoga, not
mm.
just providing healing for the people who attend, but for me too. So
Honey,
I'm
you got to get your salsa.
very thankful to her for that. So yeah, it's been quite a ride since March. So I know exactly when I started this platform, it was in March. And it was
Right.
directly in response to COVID, and just kind of keeping us, healthy and moving. And the mental part of this with COVID is rough on a lot of people. I really feel like a lot of us, especially those of us who have lost loved ones,
Mm-hmm.
are dealing with a lot of PTSD and, mental anxiety, and just a lot. And so the whole purpose of this event is actually to share, tips for mindfulness, tips for wellness, tips for nutrition, and just how do we get through this time? How do we get through this time and still stay healthy? And still stay well, because honestly, there's not necessarily an end in sight for this that we can see, but we have to keep going, and we have to find a way to keep going. We have to do that. And so we have to make a commitment to keep moving and to keep
Mm-hmm.
going. And I feel like everybody I'm connected to, I have made a commitment to them and them to me, that we're going to hold each other up when we're going through, because, we're all going through a rough time. So sometimes a 5 or 10 minute talk can
Mm-hmm.
change everything, just to talk, a text message, a video call, just to kind of keep us focused on putting one foot in front of the other. It's just really, really critical right now that we do that.
I'm telling, because it's your support group. And I know when I was
Support.
going through that with her, that was so encouraging me.
Yeah.
So how many of the friends, the people you call quote unquote the real friends, they were calling, they was trying to get things to her. I mean, it was like, yes, woo, and
Yes,
it plays a major
absolutely.
role.
Yes, I'm getting text messages while I'm doing a call. He said, Deb, I'm running late. I'll be on. So
Oh,
we can't, well, obviously we can't postpone it. So we're going to keep going with
mhm.
everything. And as people jump on, they jump in wherever
Yeah.
they jump in at. And so that's what we're going to do. So what I will do first is I have a PowerPoint presentation, and then we, we will also be having presentation and talks from both Nancy and Janelle. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. First place I'm going to start is pulling up our run of show, just to make sure we're staying on track with everything. How is the weather in Atlanta?
Oh, it's nice. Really, when you
What would you
compare
say the
Atlanta to
temperature?
Dallas, it's virtually the same. But Dallas, I love the right about now, that's when it started getting a little cool because I love to pull out my jackets. And so
Yeah.
I love me some fall. Now give me some
Yeah,
leaves.
fall is, yeah. I
Ooh, but
prefer the
it's
fall and the
basically the
spring.
same. It's basically the same.
Now, Janelle, you are where? You,
Okay. What I've been doing, I've been transitioning between Tallahassee and because I've been going back and forth traveling, doing business. I've been in Georgia, Thomasville, and Columbus, and then I go back between Atlanta. So I've been
okay.
virtually hitting about 5 or 6 different counties. Girl, I've been working it.
You're everywhere. Now, Janelle, what part of the country are you? Janelle. Oop, did we?
Okay. I'm in
Yeah,
California, so I
sorry.
was laughing because we are all over the country. We have all the corners covered here, right?
Okay.
Really? What's
So,
the weather? What's the weather like over there?
in my opinion, perfect. It's like sunny and 60s.
Oh,
Wow. Oh
okay.
my
And at
God.
night, it's like 30s. It's icy.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, the temperature drops
Yeah,
there.
because I'm high in the mountains.
You're high in the mountains.
Oh, in
Wow.
California.
Wow.
Okay.
In
Mhm.
California. Well, we're up north, right? Nancy, myself, Ellie. So
Yeah.
our weather pattern is similar up
Mhm.
here.
Yeah. I did teach outside again today.
How
So
was it?
it was cold, but it was sunny. So that was nice. Yep.
Yeah,
So,
that's good. That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have just a tiny bit of a window before where it's really just going to be too cold. But that's okay. That's all right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, ladies, really quick and get started. Just give me a second and present. So here we are. Those of us, everybody can see, hopefully, the screen. And I'll just go on to the next. So definitely this 2020 Gold Women's Wellness virtual event. This is the first time we've been virtual because last year we were live. And so it's definitely a big change for us to be virtual, but you know what? The show must go on, right? It's still Breast Cancer Awareness Month and we just got to keep going, you know. So it's also been a great partnership for us with the American Cancer Society. I am a breast cancer survivor, so I started doing this event actually 3 years ago when I was actively in treatment, but even before then we were still doing wellness events, you know, because it's never an old topic, right, for us as women to take care of ourselves. Just always have to be reminded to take care of ourselves. It's all the time. It's never an old topic. And so here you've already heard from Nancy and Janelle, but this is just a little bit about them. You know, I do PR marketing and as far as a lot of Gold PR, and then started the Gold Wellness Circle platform. I had my Zumba license 7 years ago, and I figured, why not? Like, you know, I wanted to find a way to give back and to keep people moving. And so I just jumped on and started teaching Zumba classes via Zoom. It's a lot of fun that we do that. At some point, I'm going to play some music. We're going to get up and move a little bit to a song or two just to kind of shake it off a little bit. It's a nice way to get a break. And so we'll do that. And as you know, Nancy shared with, you know, a wonderful experience with working with those who've dealt with trauma, being a yoga instructor. I mean, she's a hardcore yogi, like many, many, many years, and just fantastic and can certify other yoga instructors. So just a fantastic experience. Now, I'm going to ask you, Nancy, to share. I was not sure what all of your certifications were.
Mm.
So I'm just going to ask you to share with everybody what your certifications are.
All right. So I'm a yoga therapist. That's really what that is. And actually went to yoga therapy training with Janelle. But my specialty over the years since I did that was research into how you can use yoga modalities like the postures, like the breathing and meditation and mindfulness to help your body work through trauma. And so I actually been in Europe, I've been in Africa or Uganda and all around the United States. And I train other yoga teachers on how to bring this into their teaching. And I've worked in some pretty hardcore places, you know, where people, probably the most challenging one was working at the VA hospital with women who were sexually assaulted while they were deployed. And it was like an in-house treatment center. And that was probably the hardest of all, because a lot of these women have, you know, just bucked up and carried on through all that trauma. And it might not have even been their first trauma, right? Because they might have had childhood trauma on top of that. And then it just got to the point where most of them were probably court ordered there. And so to work through that. And so that was probably the most challenging. But so I have a nonprofit, and we also in this making yoga accessible, you know, work to get grants and things to bring yoga teacher training to places that don't have them accessible. So also I've had to get into a lot of social justice issues and learn myself a lot about, you know, white privilege and things like that in order to be effective, trying my best to be effective in bringing just the mindfulness. And that's what, you know, we have this great word right now, mindfulness, that everybody seems to be getting on board with. And that's really what yoga is. So it's a little easier to teach now than it ever was. And so that's mostly about me.
Okay, great. Thank you, Nancy. Wonderful, wonderful. So, and then I wanted to do the same with Janelle, because I kind of felt like I can read what it is that you've done with the PhD in the natural medicine, certified in functional nutrition, family herbalist. I wasn't exactly sure what a herbalist was, yoga therapist, and childbirth educator. Like I could read that, but I felt like you could kind of speak to that a little bit better than I could. So you could share.
And that stuff kind of feels a little bit boring to me, but essentially I've just I've just worked with women for decades now, and I just hear over and over again how they're suffering with not feeling right and low energy. And I've just been on this pursuit to help women feel validated in those feelings, instead of, you know, they're told by their doctors they're fine and nothing's wrong and go on antidepressants. And I mean, those have a place, but often there's more going on with women in their bodies that we understand. So I've just worked over many years in different modalities, searching for ways to help women. And I finally feel like I'm onto it now, and it's all back to food. And just because that's what we do every day, all day. And so it's a powerful tool. And so between educating them around the science of their bodies and then how to use food, that's just kind of been my journey for the last 30 years. So.
Thank you. Thanks, Janelle. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll have to say, my grandma and my mom and my sister all have had breast cancer. And so they,
I didn't know that.
They through the years have used food, you know, to help how they can, and mindfulness and all these things. So that's been really neat also, learning from them and then being inspired to study those areas to help them also. So I'm happy to be involved with your mission here.
Yeah, thank you. That's wonderful. Thank you both. Excellent. So just of course, our runner show is changing a little bit based on how people are coming in, and, you know, so we'll be changing it up a little bit, moving some things around. But after myself, we'll probably do a fun prize drawing, because that's what we've been wanting to do, is to give away some prizes and some virtual goodie bags. So, you know, virtual gifts. So you'll have a lot of that. That'll be super fun. So this is just a little short run of show. And then of course, a lot of it will be tweaked and everything. So that just kind of gives you an idea of how everything will be running today. So I'll just dive in and just Light of Gold PR marketing, branding, digital media relations. That's my basically my core business for 14 years, brand management, digital, you name it, we've done it, as far as helping small to medium-sized businesses get more promotions, just to get more exposure to their target market. And so we pretty much dive into everything, whether it's graphic design, whether it's digital and social media, whether it's press, even reputation management is a new area for us, you know, helping companies manage negative reviews that unfortunately get posted online, and how do you navigate that? And so, you know, we have a small team. We started working virtually. Now we're working on site just a tiny bit in New York City and in New Jersey. So maybe once a week, twice a week, just to get out a little bit. But also most of the time we're virtual these days, just to keep, you know, just for all of us to stay safe. You know, that's how we've been working. But we're always going, pretty much. Web development, my previous career was IT and tech. And so we still do a lot of that, helping a lot of companies with their websites and their traction and everything to their target market. So that's our core business. And then we started Go Wellness Circle, just basically devoted to your physical and mental well-being, you know, whether it's resources where you can get help. You know, sometimes there are people who just need more help than we can even provide. So even directing you to, you know, whether it's therapists or resources to help you with, you know, paying your bills. You know, sometimes we've even pointed people in the right direction as far as where can they go to, you know, help them get grants and monies and loans. And because I do a lot with different chambers of commerce, sometimes I just know where some of those areas are. So we try to post a lot on the website, and we try to update it with new resources on our gowellnesscircle.com website. So you can always check there. And of course, prolifically, we're doing the classes, workshops like these, you know, Zumba classes, yoga classes, all wellness. And we're getting ready to kind of, you know, change up our program a little bit, and maybe offering some senior programming for seniors that maybe have mobility issues, and for young people, because I feel on both sides of the spectrum, they're probably really, really struggling with this time right now. So we wanted to see if we can offer some programming. And so we're always open to, if you know anyone that you want to refer us to, or any organizations, just keep us in mind for that. But we're all about a healthy lifestyle and how we can get through this time together and still thrive during this time. And even beyond now, you know, how do you stay well? How do you stay healthy? And bringing you experts like Nancy and Janelle. You know, I don't know everything, but I will try to bring experts into the room and facilitate that and promote that. So that's what we always want to do. So we have our merch shop. You know, so we've been doing fundraising with the American Cancer Society. We sold a couple of the breast cancer ribbon earrings and necklaces, and we have all of that going on. Super excited about our merch, and people have really been gravitating toward just saying, look, if you're going to donate monies, I'll just buy this or I'll send this. And so that's been really wonderful for us as well. So just some wellness tips. What I realized back in March is if I did not establish a routine very quickly, I was really going to be struggling with the shutdown. I realized that back in March, and that's what I decided that I would do, was just have a schedule, have a structure, follow a routine, and keep my self-care number one. Right now, self-care, you need to practice extreme self-care. It's not even regular self-care. You know, it's extreme, because, and not feeling uncomfortable about doing that, you know, whether it's a meditation practice, exercising, finding a tribe, like people that walk. Like every Friday I have a group of ladies that I walk with. We've been walking since March together, just every Friday, you know, and just that sense of community has really helped a lot. So making sure that we're moving, practicing the self-care, staying positive. It's really hard to stay positive right now. So it's a rough time for a lot of us. How do you do that? You know, being thankful for, you know, whatever is going well, praying about whatever needs to change, or being hopeful about, you know, what can change. But negativity is going to make this all worse. You know, it really is. It's going to make it all worse. So really, I've had to kind of reduce my diet of the news. I find that if I look at too much news, I actually feel the anxiety in my body. If I look at too much news, if I'm plugged into news from all sources, you know, putting down this phone and making sure that I can kind of decompress, because we're getting news from everywhere, whether we're watching it, looking at it, it comes into our email, we get alerts on our phone. So I really had to kind of distance myself from that and reduce it, because I find that when I'm inundated with too much news and watching it, I really feel it in my body. Seriously, you know, whether it's palpitations in my chest or just anxiety, I feel it. So I realized I had to reduce my diet of the news, you know, educating yourself, you know, setting boundaries, you know, recent trends with COVID, of course, that keeps changing all the time. It's rough, but there's different changes, but you can't obsess over it. You can't stress over it. So you have to kind of limit, you know, even how much of that you look at, you know, so giving yourself a break. You know, don't stay on your couch watching the news for 6 hours straight. You know, stay cautious about doing those types of things. It's just not healthy to do, especially now. So I find that even for me to practice these tips has helped me, and I like to share it with other people because it's critical, particularly with women. For women, self-care and wellness is like a muscle. It's like if we don't work that muscle, every time we do this event, we have some of the same people that have participated in it live. Okay, so it's a little different now with COVID, but almost every year we will have some of the same people that would attend. And then one of the things that we were finding that was happening is just being reminded all the time to take care of yourself. It's like you start on that path and you're doing pretty good, and then all of a sudden you fall off. Something happens to your children, to your spouse, to your partner, to your parents, you know, and then now you're taking care of all these other people and you go down to the bottom of the list. And it happens all the time. So that's why I like to call it a muscle that we always have to work to become stronger, so that we can keep it top of mind all the time. But we'll do it for a period of time and then we start falling off, you know, so I see that happening a lot. So being a breast cancer survivor, now I've realized that I really have to be careful about stress and anxiety, because, you know, I'm cancer free for 2 years now. And so now I can't miss my mammograms. And I talk to a lot of women who are either survivors or who are going through chemo now. And it's so sad because they're afraid to go get their mammogram because of COVID. And so what I've had to tell them is they have to get that mammogram. Yes, wear a mask, set up your appointment, but you got to get those mammograms. You got to get those tests, because I can tell you from experience that sometimes stage 1 can go to stage 2 or stage 3 so easily if you just get caught up and busy with your life and you put off those mammograms. It's unfortunate, but that is what's happening even now. You know, there are women who are just afraid to do it. So wearing a mask, it felt really weird when I had to go get my mammogram back in June. I think it was June or July, but I got through it. I was a little anxious, but I got through it, and I'm glad that I went, you know, because now they said, well, maybe you should come back. We just want to check and make sure, you know, both breasts are okay. I had a lumpectomy back in 2018. I'm now cancer free, but I did go through 14 months of treatment, went through the whole gamut, you know, lost my hair, went through the whole thing, went through radiation. And so I'm very conscious now of staying on track with my self-care, because it's easy to get thrown off. And if you don't pay attention to it, you know, you got to check your own breasts, you know, do your own breast checks, you know, get in the habit of doing that. Sometimes as women, we just don't do those things, you know, we should, but it's a lot of us that don't. So sometimes you can find the lump a lot sooner than having to wait to get a mammogram. So those are important. Physical activity, even while you're at home, you got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. It's so critical now, just to put one foot in front of the other and keep moving, so that is like super, super critical. So, it's so easy to do giveaways because we have 2 guests right now on the call. I'm texting the other ones that on my phone. And so now we have 2 guests. And so it's easy, super easy. So I can ask you ladies, what do you see here that looks like it might be fun or interesting? We'll start with you, Algenia. We got the breast cancer mask.
The queen.
Ah, okay. So the queen pin. Okay. So the queen pin. Yay. We can make sure you get that. So I'm going to put you down for that. And Ellie, what do you see that you like on our store?
Oh, let's see.
We got bracelets, necklaces, we got masks, we got a little bit of everything.
Where are the masks?
Masks are right up here. We got a breast cancer mask. We have, which is cool. We have a Michelle Obama mask. We have different, just a few masks, but you could let me know.
The breast cancer mask would be fine.
Okay, cool. So how easy was that? So you're both winners. Yay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're both winners. So let's see. Somebody's joining us.
Okay.
Oh, they're coming in. So while they're coming in, I'm going to go ahead and who's joining us? Hello. I don't know who Galaxy, let me see. It's funny, I have a similar phone and I know I didn't dial in, so that's not me. So Galaxy A10E, who are you? And don't be shy, we want to see your face.
No shame.
Yes, that's right. So I'm going to put down got the queen pin, right?
Yes.
All right. And Ellie got the breast cancer mask. So that was easy breezy. And all I have to do is mail it to you ladies and that will be fine. So winners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So just so that I remember, I had to type it and send myself a reminder. But we'll have more. So we got more stuff coming up. So we have, let's see, let me just go back to. Okay, Galaxy, who are you? Hello. Don't be shy. Let me see. I'm gonna send you a little message there.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to start your video. We can't hear you. All we can see is your phone, the name of your phone, which is Galaxy A10E. I have the same exact phone. So let's see if there's anything else in here. And then we will finish up.
Let's step out for a minute.
Say positive. Let's see. Breast check. Listen to your body. Yep. So we did our giveaway. So I am actually done. Now that we've done that one those few giveaways, we have more coming up. And so what we're going to do is, let's see, it's 6:13. So what we're going to do really quick is All right, so Galaxy A10e, are you just gonna be shy and you're just not gonna show us who you are? We can't hear you, we can't see you, unless you're having trouble being on. Yeah, it could be. It does happen.
Yes.
Yeah, it does happen sometimes. So let me see. Let me see if anybody texts me.
I'm trying to see if anybody doing me. Okay, let's see.
Yep. But that's okay. All right. So I am going to turn it over to Janelle after we get moving with one song.
Okay.
One song just to make it fun. Let's see if we can find something fun. This is one of my favorite songs to start with because I always feel better when I'm dancing.
Me too, girl.
Nancy knows this song because I always start with it, but it's always so fun. So this is our song. So you can sit or you can get up.
Don't think about it, just move your body.
Can you hear?
To the music.
Can everybody hear?
Just move those left feet. Go ahead, get crazy. Anyone can do it. Sing, oh yeah. Show the world you got that fire. Feel the rhythm getting louder. Show the world what you can do. Who do that? You got the move. Hey, I don't know about you, but I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah. Better when I'm dancing. Yeah. And we can do this together. Bet you feel better when you're dancing. Yeah. Ow. When you finally let go, you say that's so long. Cause you listen to the music, sing away on. Cause you're confident, babe. You make it right. We know that you could do it, sing away. Show the world you got that fire, baby. Feel the rhythm getting louder. Show the world what you can do. Go to them, you got the moves. Hey, I don't know about you, but I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah. Better when I'm dancing. Yeah. Oh. And we can do this together. Bet you feel better when you're dancing. Yeah. I feel better when I'm dancing. I'm better when I'm dancing. Hey, oh well. I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah. Better when I'm dancing. Yeah. Oh, you know we can do this together. Makes you feel better when you're dancing. I feel better when I'm dancing. I'm better when I'm dancing. Hey, I feel better when I'm. Hey, yeah.
Good job. Good. Do you feel a little bit more alert?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Good. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
So I am going to spotlight Janelle. You ready, Janelle?
Yes, that was fun.
That was fun. You catching your breath, right?
Yes.
That's what it's like working with Debra.
So fun. I'm in. I'm hooked.
It was fun. It was fun. So I'll spotlight you right now. Here you are.
Okay.
Beautiful
Thank
face.
you,
So we
Debra.
got
That was awesome. Okay. So thanks again for being here, everybody. And let me just start out by saying I love working with women. it is just so awesome. And I get to help them understand their bodies better. I get to help them listen to what their bodies are saying, and then to use food and lifestyle to feel better. And I can't tell you how many times I have seen women deal with headaches, insomnia, low energy, stomach pains, brain fog, all of these things so many people struggle with. And I have seen food and lifestyle help so much. It is so cool. So if it helps so much, why the heck aren't we all eating for health, right? What's the problem? So I would love to jump right in. I don't have much time, so I'm just gonna go big and hit it hard. And I also want to give you guys a lot to think about after this conference. And so I have a download for everybody that has the highlights of these notes in it, so you don't have to remember everything. So you can download that after. And it also has some awesome recipes to try too. So are we ready to jump in? Okay. So I decided to focus on the top 6 reasons that I see people struggling to eat for health. Like the reason, the blocks, what are they? Let's address them. And so we can use food and lifestyle to feel our best. So I have 6 reasons again. The number 1 reason I think people don't eat for health is because they are confused about why we eat. Okay, so many people think it's calories, right? Energy. Well, that's true, but partial. It is only a small part of why we eat. So much has to do with what's in the food we eat. Some foods drive health. Some foods drive disease and drive symptoms. So food is actually information for our bodies. It's not just a calorie. A calorie is not a calorie. So our bodies need so much more than fat and protein and carbohydrates. Okay, we need antioxidants. Being cancer survivors, I'm sure we've heard how important antioxidants are to maintain the integrity of all of the cells in our body. We need enzymes to make things happen in our body. We need vitamins and minerals so our bodies can do all the jobs that it does. We need phytonutrients. Those are nutrients that come from plants. There's tons of them, and they fight cancer, and they fight disease, and they reduce inflammation. And they also talk to the microbes in our gut. Okay, and we're learning tons about the importance of our gut microbes, how powerful they are for mental health, physical health. So those phytonutrients from plants help with our microbes. And our food even talks to our genes. So our genetics respond to the food we eat. So a calorie is not a calorie. And we need to eat to drive health, physical health and mental health. So that's the first one, understanding why we eat. Number 2 is understanding when we eat. Okay, we don't, hear so much about that. And when we eat really matters. And we're learning more and more about this. Like every month, studies are coming out. Here's what we know. We know our metabolism is tied to the circadian rhythm, okay? Meaning our metabolism is influenced, like how we burn energy during the day is influenced by the sun. So we have evolved for thousands of years, right? And we have evolved to be more sensitive to insulin. Okay, so how we use energy, how we make energy, we are more sensitive to it during the day and actually earlier in the day. And, for all those thousands of years, humans did not have 24-hour access to food, right? So we evolved to be able to handle food in those hours of the day that we would get it. So although everybody is different, what we do know is that we are more able to process and use our food earlier in the day, and we are not designed to process food at night. So maybe not late night snacking. After all, it's more than just calories. It's actually feeding our body at a time that we are not prepared to handle that food. So eating with the sun, it's not just foo-foo, it's science. It's when our body is metabolically ready to handle food. So more early in the day, less later in the day, which is kind of opposite of our culture today, and not at night. So that's number 2. Number 1 was why. Number 2 was when. Number 3 is what, right? So I'm not talking about diets. I'm not talking about extreme ways of eating. I'm not talking about expensive supplements or even healing diets. I am talking about long-term, balanced, eating for health, just down to earth eating every day. And food marketing has a way of convincing us it's confusing. And they want to sell us their foods. And their foods are actually designed to make us want them. They're the things that make up those foods are such that we keep coming back for more. So, and really that is just a strategy to get us to buy their food. It's not confusing what we should eat. It's really not. It's honestly pretty simple. And I'm just going to go through my list of what long-term eating should look like. And again, this is all written out for you, so you can come back to it. So the foods that most people should focus on every day are colorful vegetables, every meal, okay? And we know why now, right? So it's not just to be cute or like healthy, it's to feed our body. Colorful fruits, both which are loaded with antioxidants and those phytonutrients, and with fiber that keeps our food moving through our digestive system, and fiber feeds our microbes in our gut. So that's important. Healthy fats like olive oil, avocados, butter. Healthy fats feed our brain. They help us feel full, and they are what our hormones are made of, which is hugely related to how we feel. Clean proteins, so chicken, eggs, beef, beans, helps our blood sugar, and it also helps our muscles, among other things. Nuts, seeds, whole grains, fermented foods, herbs and spices, and water. That is what we should be eating most of the day, every day. So these are the foods our body can recognize. It knows what to do with it. It has evolved to recognize these foods. And these are the foods that talk to our genes and tells our health promoting genes to turn on and our disease genes to turn off. So how cool. Our food and our lifestyle talk to our genetics. That is crazy cool. And again, tons of science around epigenetics, that's called. So those are the foods that we should focus on. And again, those are all written out for you. I have people write them on their refrigerator door. We all need reminders. So you can put them on your steering wheel, on your refrigerator door, just boom, the list. I'm all about lists. And for some people, it might take some time. It might take learning how to cook, but one little thing at a time, not trying to do it all at once, can really help. So that was number 3, what? So we did why, when, and what. Number 4 is cravings, right? So this is a really big one, and understanding why we make the choices we make in the moment isn't always easy because there's a lot more at play than just our emotions or what we think of as crazy cravings. It can be blood sugar, it can be the microbes in our gut. But if I had to say one thing to do before you eat is to pause. Just take a second, pause. When your hand's on the fridge, we're all at home all day, most of us now. So we have our cabinets, we have our fridge. So take a pause, hand on the cupboard, and ask yourself, what am I hungry for? What am I craving? It could be you're craving a friend. It could be you're craving a change of scenery. You might be bored. It could be you're nervous, tired, putting something off. So just stopping and asking yourself that question. Maybe you could call a friend. Maybe you could drink some water. Do one of the dances that Debra is teaching us, or do one of the breath practices that Nancy's going to teach us. But just giving yourself a moment and the permission to think about what you're really craving. And maybe you could use a rest, or, just even a moment just to consider what it is can break the cycle of eating for reasons other than hunger. And honestly, sugar has been likened to being addicted to cocaine. So that can cause huge cravings. So sugar, again, a calorie is not a calorie. Sugar robs our body of minerals, of nutrients. It throws off our hormones. And it's usually just good to break up with sugar. However fast or slow you want to do that, if you want to impact your cravings, try giving sugar a break, even for a week, even for a day. But usually a day is really hard and it gets easier. So, but just think about your relationship with sugar. But no matter what, just a pause when you have those cravings. Okay, number 5. Biggest stumbling block I see with people not making the best choices is not being organized. Okay. I have 4 kids and I work full time. My husband works full time. And when I don't organize, we eat garbage. I'm a nutritionist and I eat garbage and I feed my kids garbage when I don't organize, because it's 5 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, we're hungry. I will grab something to make them full, but in the long run, it's just doing us a disservice. So organizing makes all the difference in the world. It helps keep costs low. It helps feel calm around food. It helps give us more time to cook. So I have all of my clients, no matter what day of the week it is, Sunday works for a lot of people, plan 7 days. There's no reason you can't plan all 7 days of the week what you're going to eat, and then shop for 3 or 4 days at a time. Everyone's different depending on your job and who you live with, but making a plan, writing it down, and shopping for many days at a time is huge for being able to actually use food to drive health. So we did 5. I don't know if I can remember them now. We did why, when, what, cravings, and being organized, digestion. Okay. So the best way to be able to use our food for health is if we actually are breaking it down and absorbing it. Because I actually work with people who are eating the best diets, some of them, not usually, but some people who are eating the best diets and they're not using the food at all. And it's for different reasons, but the easiest things you can do to be able to digest your food and absorb it, slow down. Okay. When we slow down before we eat, we give our body a chance to release those digestive enzymes, to send blood to your digestive system so the muscles can work. And chewing, there's a real biochemical reason we chew. Chew, 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 to break down the food so that those enzymes can break it down and we can use it. Smell your food, look at your food, cook your food. All of these things give our body time to get ready to take the food in. When we grab a bar and we're in the car and we shovel it in, our body doesn't even know what's going on. We're full like an hour later because nothing had time to realize what was happening. So by slowing down alone, we'll get fuller faster too. So getting the nutrients out of our food is really important. So I didn't want to leave out the importance of digestion and breaking down our food. So that was it. That was the 6 big reasons. And if you don't remember anything else, a calorie is not a calorie. Eating whole foods is what we want to do. Whole, full foods. Eat with the sun. Sun's up, eat. Sun goes down, stop eating. Pause before you eat. Make a food plan and chew. So, it's a lot to change all at once. Everyone's coming from different places and different experiences with food. But if you just start with one thing, and next month start with one more thing, and just slowly make these things normal, I know you will feel better. I know you will feel the benefits. I know your health will improve. And lastly, I just want to say, I do believe right now in the world, we need women feeling strong. We need women with tons of energy and clear minds. So this is the way to get there with food and lifestyle. This is how we can be our strongest. And I do believe the world needs that right now. So that's my quick down and dirty spiel on how to use food to promote your health.
Introduced to by this cardiologist really helped us to break down the question of, are you eating enough fruits and vegetables? How do you measure that? What is your antioxidant level? Because we know that we need a strong antioxidant level to be able to fight whatever there is out there, whether it be sugar, whether it be fat, whether it be lack of exercise. And also in terms of supplementation, are your supplements being absorbed or are they just going right into the toilet bowl? So these very, very basic things were very helpful in being introduced to this business.
Yes. Okay. All right. Great. Thank you. Well, thank you for attending. We have at least for the 4 or 5 additional people that paid. Thank you for paying. We'll be donating a lot of this to the American Cancer Society, but we're sorry you're not here, but we enjoyed it. So thank you. Special thanks definitely to Nancy Candia and Janelle Farron-Anderson. Welcome. We thank you. Those of you who've been watching, Algenia, Ellie, we're glad that you came and joined the conversation with us. And we hope those of you who have been watching really enjoyed it. And you will join us next time for the next time that we do this, because we got to keep this going with this fantastic content that we're sharing with you. So thanks, everybody. We appreciate it.
You have a good evening.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I'll check your website and get all
And
the
look
information.
for my email. I'm going
all
to
your
connect
information.
everybody. So look for my email.
Okay.
Thanks.
I get
Thank
the
you.
information.
Bye.